Okay, so g'day and welcome to the AFL day off. So Melbourne, today's a public holiday for the AFL, and this year's grand final is between Sydney and Brisbane. But as I'm from Victoria, by default, you should go for Brisbane because screw Sydney. Anyway, but considering that Fitzroy and South Melbourne, it's really hard. When another city steals one of our AFL teams, actually two of them. So today we have 1919 pennies. Now I've made a few videos about 1919. The first one was in 2016. The last one was in 2021. So I've made them for a few years. I've sold quite a few of them off, and I've also got quite a few. So the first one we have is a rotated coin. And yeah, you can see the rotation to 11 o'clock. So this is 10, 12, 11, 10, 9. So that's how I designate. Or you could use degrees. So this is 360, 90. Is that 180? No. 90, 180, 270, 360. Yep, there you go. You can use that. So you can use strike and dip or like a geological structure. So that's a strike and dip. So strike is north-south. Dip is 45 degrees east. Anyway, so what we are looking at, this is a coin in fine condition. I wouldn't say it's very fine. It has too much wear on the actual crown. So it's a pretty low grade coin. And there's about 5.8 million of these 1919 pennies minted. That's the second highest mintage till that time period. The 1917 had 6.24. So 5.8 is more on the high side of mintage footy type. Actually, I'd say mid. Because you got 921. How many is that? 12 million. That seems to be the highest. And there also has dots, which I made in another video. Okay, then we got another one. So these are pretty common errors you can find throughout pennies and half pennies, as well as the other pre-decimals. But because this is a larger coin, and also because of the high mintage, we do have a lot more errors. And the quality assurance seems to be low. So this coin is probably very fine. We have a lamination on D. So that's the actual metal starting to deteriorate. And over time, that's a weakness. That's just going to get worse. So that's quite... I do like the coin. What's the dots? Okay. Looks like that might be... have a dot below, but unsure of that. Could be damage. Some people tell me, oh, I can see it, but you can't see it. Are you blind? Okay, this one is a dot below, but the lamination is a lot more prominent. And you can tell it's a lamination just by the style, as well as the A goes over top of it. So some of the metals tried to go into the A, but it's not being successful. And also the dot, and that dot there, this is the small dot. So this date has a lot of different errors and varieties. So what's the difference between error and variety? So a variety, I would say the dots are variety because they are intentionally made. An error is a lamination. So this is not intended to be on the coin. It just happened to be. And errors are all pretty different for different types of coins. So there's no two errors that are the same. And here we have, looks like something on that. And on the back, we have more lamination. So that's the only reason why I like to collect pre-decimals is because of these. And for some reason, you could just get impressions of N all over the coin, say in front and behind a king, as well as in between lettering. So there's something going on with the engraving. So someone's messed up. I tried to remove it, but it wasn't successful because I don't, it's not the a die clash or ghosting or anything like that. And we can see one here. So this one has someone, okay, second N. So you can see the actual N is before the second N. So that's it's actually part of the engraving. So I am unable to account for why that has happened. And this one has I, so this is the Indian. And looks like we have a small lamination up the top. So we go with the N. The N is to the denticle. On the other coin, we have the N is to in between. So basically what we God, I hate it when the camera just doesn't want to focus. So we got in between identical to the denticle. So this is the Indian and this is the London dies. So, and there's differences in the number of denticles that you can see. So while the 1918 has the Indian, 1919 has the London, you should always check for that because you never know. Even though there could be this type of variety. So that's that coin. And the last one we have, it's also another spur. So we have another spur. This is a lot weaker, but we also have what looks like ghosting, but it doesn't seem to correspond with the effigy on the other side. So I'm not too sure what that is. It's probably just weakness. I would say could also be just an oil strike. So something to do with oil. And this one doesn't have the dot below. And we look at that. So that's also London. Let's have a look at the rest. Okay, that one was London. So while it is not a reported variety, they have the Indian on the 1919. Just always check for it because you never know if you never check it. Okay, so as for values, these ones are probably only a few dollars. So about $3 or $4 in this condition. But because these have errors, that increases the prices just a little bit. The rotation I sold for $8, which is a good value. And that is for the no dot as well as the dot below. So these have the same values, but if you got one with a dot on top scroll and bottom scroll, well, that increases the value remarkably. As far as I know, there's no other varieties. So it's no top above bottom scroll or anything like that, like in 1920. But you know, always check for that stuff because you never know. And you know, it's just a fun thing to do. Just get your pennies out, just check for errors, varieties, stuff like that, and just be amazed at how knowledgeable you can become when you're doing it. Anyway, I'd like to say thank you very much. Have an awesome coin and banknote collecting time, and just remember, go Collingwood.